recording.
Oh, hello there. Well, sorry I can't join you for our PLT meeting, but maybe instead I can explain what we're going to be doing on Friday in my absence. Juliana, thank you for allowing us to be able to have this prep session. What I'd recommend, since we're going to have our scavenger hunt on Friday, is for you to go inside of your computers right now. Yes, right now. And voila, I have just now emailed you a copy of our itinerary. Because I'm still waiting on all of the first period rosters from all of our classes, I don't have that for us to be able to look over, although thank you to those who did email me. I would want to have you open it up, so I think we've waited a little while for you to open up your email account. You can find the file. I happen to have it right here. So I will go ahead and read out loud as you go through it with us. The title should say Friday, September 18th, 2015. On this day, all the 7th graders will remain on the 7th grade floor from 7:30 to 8:20, and then on the field trip, leaving from the lobby from 8:30 to 10:55. All 7th and 8th graders are going to be gone from the building at this time, so we won't be worrying about elective classes from our 1st to our 4th period class. We do have quite a few chaperones, and I'll get to the chaperone situation in a moment. Our schedule, as you can pull it up and see yourself, 7:25 to 7:30 on Friday, we're going to be taking attendance inside of our class homerooms. There will be certain teachers who will send 7th graders who will not be going on the trip to different classrooms to make up 5 different core groups of about 30 kids each. 7:35 to 8:20, we'll be watching a PowerPoint and video selection that I've put together so that we will be able to get our kids prepared for the scavenger hunt at the History Museum in Capitol Square. And that also means that we'll be able to hand out the scavenger hunt pages. For those of you who were here last year, you know what I mean. 8:20 to 8:30, we will leave from our classroom and go down to the lobby, and there we'll meet up with any chaperones we haven't met yet. We'll form up into our groups of 10, all within our 5 groups, so that students know who their chaperone is going to be. And then 8:30 to 8:55 is the time situated for us to walk down to the History Museum together. At 8:55, we'll arrive at the Capitol Square at the President's Monument, and chaperone groups will keep their groups together. At 9 o'clock is our first rotation, and that's when groups 1, 2, and 3 will enter the History Museum. They'll get a 5-minute briefing from the docents there, and groups 4 and 5 will stay at the Capitol Square and tour around that area. The scavenger hunt involves the Capitol Square and both the 1st and 3rd floors of the History Museum. Our second rotation is at 9:15. That's where those folks who are at the Capitol Square will now make their way inside the History Museum. So groups 4 and 5 will come inside History Museum, and those groups already inside the History Museum will continue their tours. That will continue until 10:15, when the first 3 groups that went inside the History Museum will now go out and do what groups 4 and 5 did, which is to check out the Capitol Square. And then at 10:30, all groups will assemble back at the President's Monument, so that at 10:30 we can begin our walk back to Moore Square. And at 10:55, at our normal time, we will have our lunch, more time A, and then more time B. Just like a normal day, we'll finish up with 6th, 7th, and 8th period with absolutely no change to the rest of our schedule. So just a couple of ground rules. Miss Surratt, Mr. Hunter, and 1 or 2 others who work with 8th grade will send their students to one of the other 7th grade teachers that's on our roster list. Since 8th grade teachers will be leaving, our 7th grade students will all be traveling with a 7th grade teacher. We will be giving up our planning period, as it says in the file, but that's so that our kids can have the most marvelous, intoxicatingly social studies enriched time ever, and they will thank us till the end of their days. Also, Ms. Dawson and Mr. Hunter will switch their 7th grade and 8th grade first period classes, so that Ms. Dawson will be able to walk with 7th graders and Mr. Hunter will walk with 8th graders on both field trips. and Ms. Surratt and Mr. Brockman are going to send their 7th grade kids up to us at 7:30 so that all 7th graders will be able to hear the same message all together. One last thing. I almost forgot. We do have, on the scavenger hunt itself, there are a lot of questions. Teachers, feel free to help kids to be able to get as many answers on the scavenger hunt as possible. We want it to be an authentic, autochthonous experience. Look it up if you want to find out what that word is. But just be aware that there will be a prize for all of the top winners, not necessarily by class, but winners for each student who gets the most answers right. I think that's about it. So I'll get back to my reading. You guys get back to your PLTs, and hope you have a great Tuesday.